Bonjour, hi, as we say in Canada. My name is Cesar Vianna, and today is October 12, 2024. I am pleased to be here recording this interview, and I look forward to sharing more about myself and the work during our time together. I am a graphic designer and illustrator, and I have a deep passion for drawing. In my earliest memories, at the age of 3, 4, I was already drawing. I draw with pencils, brushes, pastels, pens, and various other materials. I was born in São Paulo, Brazil, and I spent my childhood in the late 1970s. Brazilian culture is heavily influenced by American culture. And as a result, from a young age, I developed a great admiration for the work of cartoonists and animators from Disney and Hanna-Barbera studios. In these childhood memories, I recall drawing characters from the TV shows I watched or attempting to recreate illustrations from comic books. I believe this influence still lives in my work today. I can recognize in some of my drawings traits and characteristics of those 1970s artists. I spent much of my childhood at my grandparents' house, where they had reproductions of famous artworks on the walls and impressive collections of art books. From an early age, I was exposed to artists like Renoir, Botticelli, and Van Gogh. The delicacy of their work and the pursuit of perfection in human forms are recurring elements in my own work. Thanks to the images I absorbed as a child. I hold two qualifications in graphic design. One from the School of Architecture and at the University of São Paulo, and the other from the School of Fine Arts at Laval University at Quebec. My work is influenced by both. I tend to be organized and clean, with confident lines, a skill I developed during my years studying design at the School of Architecture. However, in the School of Fine Arts, encouraged me to seek more freedom in my work, to break away from the rigidity I once had, and let the materials express themselves on the canvas or on the paper. My biggest influence? Honestly, I don't have just one. As I mentioned before, my drawings are inspired by animators from 1970s, such as those behind iconic characters as Scooby-Doo, Josie and the Pussycats, and other works developed by Hanna-Barbera Studios. The simplicity of the lines of these characters is a recurring theme on my own drawings. I'm also inspired by animators at Walt Disney Studios, especially those responsible for the animation renaissance of the late 1980s and early 1990s. The way these artists capture the movement and the expressions from actors had a profound influence on my own process. Like these Disney animators, I frequently work with live models, always to try to capture not just the pose itself, but the movement that led to it. For example, I'm also inspired by illustrators such as Escher, uh, whose work I admire a lot from its surreal and free-spirited nature, and Ton of Finland from his representation of male figure. The way we Wisner used textures and patterns to represent light and shadows in another has another importance, especially in his approach to chiaroscuro. Leonardo da Vinci's sketches have also been a constant source of inspiration for me. I've long strived to achieve the same subtlety found in his use of the sfumato technique. I'm still working toward that goal. The delicate way Renoir captures the human form, especially in the expressive gestures of his character's hands, also deeply resonates with me. Finally, I can't overlook the influence of pop art pioneers like Roy Lichtenstein. His style, combined with the use of color, texture, and complex patterns, continues to inspire my approach to composition and form. Right now, my focus is on the representation of human form, a subject that has fascinated me deeply over time. The pandemic and its lockdowns offered unexpected opportunities for creative exploration, in special online drawing sessions. The virtual setting has introduced me to the models from a range of diverse backgrounds, ethnicities, ages, body shapes, and proportions. I have enriched my understanding of human diversity and brought new depth to my work. My aim is to master the classical approach to a human figure while incorporating contemporary elements that reflect the present day world and its nuance. In my latest series of illustrations, I am using technique of cross-hatching with drawing pens and watercolors, limiting myself to a single color for each piece. These techniques allow for a level of precision and simplicity that find both challenging and rewarding. The focus of these works is unique. I only depict the shadows and body hair, like eyebrows, hair, beards, and other body hair of the model, leaving the rest of the figure as an empty space that blends into the background. This void invites the observer's imagination to complete the form, making them an active participant in this creation process. This minimalist approach stripping away much of the detail traditional associated with figurative work, invites the viewer to engage more deeply. By focusing on essential elements such as shadow and hair, I am to highlight the relationship between light, form, and perception. The absence of traditional outlines or detailed features allow for a heightened awareness of the body texture and presence, while also leaving room for interpretation. Through this series, I seek to explore interplay between simplicity and complexity by removing visual clutter. I am to emphasize the power of suggestion, encouraging viewers to fill the blanks, engage with the negative space, and see how minimal lines and detail can evoke something far more intricate. It is a study not just of the human form, but of how our minds interpret and perceive it. I hope to challenge the traditional portraits and figure drawing by merging classical techniques with a modern abstract sensibility. This process pushes me to find new ways to represent the human figure while also leaving space for mystery and interpretation. Being an artist is not an easy choice. Every artist at some point of their life has encountered people who dismiss their work as trivial, something less serious, or even just a hobby. Yet, for artists, their craft is far more than mere pastime. It is their life, their passion, and, in many cases, their profession. Unfortunately, I am not yet able to live just from my art. As a result, I have a job to support myself while pursuing my artist career in parallel. Often, I receive direct messages on social media from people asking me to draw something for them, expecting to be free of charge. When I explain that there is a price for my work, they sometimes react in offensive or dismissive way. What many people don't realize is that behind every piece of artwork there is a significant amount of effort, research, personal development, and financial investment in materials. The time and energy it takes to hone one craft, not to mention the cost of the tools of the trade, are often overlooked. For artists, their skills is their livelihood. It is the one thing they have to offer to the world. We must learn to value these creative gifts that so many wish they had but not possess. Whether it's the ability to create stunning drawing, capture a breathtaking photograph, or composing a moving piece of music. These talents should be respected. Art is a profession. Art is perfection, just like being an engineer or a doctor. It requires dedication, skill, and constant growth. It deserves the same respect and recognition as any other profession. Today, I would tell my younger self to be patient and remain persistent. Life will throw many obstacles your way, but this challenge will help to shape both your future and your character. Your goals will eventually be perhaps not in the way you initially imagined. However, your work will be recognized in different parts of the world. When reflecting on this message, I wanted to focus on the importance of resilience and perseverance. Life often doesn't unfold the plan, but the unexpected detours can lead to growth and opportunities we never envisioned. Every obstacle we face serves as a purpose, teaching us valuable lessons and contribute to who we become. It's not just about reaching our goals, it's about the journey and how the challenge along the way shape us into stronger individuals. And even through our dreams may appear in different forms, the impact of our work can reach far beyond what we once thought possible. The recognition of our efforts, sometimes from unexpected corners of the world, becomes a testament of the value of staying true to our path. I work with unconventional mediums and techniques all the time. As a child, I would use cords that came inside the shirts of my grandfather, took to the laundry to draw on. These were sheets of paper or card with varied colors and textures. Today I spend about 8% of my time using traditional techniques. However, dependent of my inspiration for the day or the challenge I wish to tackle, I completely change my approach. For instance, I have created paintings exclusively using different types of tea and coffee to achieve an aged effect of the colors. Additionally, I often work with mixed media, combining traditional drawings with collages. An interesting aspect of my practice involves using eyeshadows for portraits. The colors are real close to the pigments of human skin, creating a unique effect. This journey of exploration has allowed me to push the boundaries of my creativity, constantly seeking new ways to represent myself through art. By incorporating everyday materials, I strive to transform the ordinary into the extraordinary, inviting viewers to see beauty in unexpected places. In my studio, I have a small portable DVD player that I use to listen music, films or series while I am working. I find that completely silence is not conducive to my creativity. Instead, have some background sound help me to immerse myself into my work. I've noticed that my projects don't develop as they should in absolute silence. Rather, the gentle hum of audio keeps me engaged and inspired. I create an atmosphere that allows my thoughts to flow more freely and helps me to maintain my arrhythmic artistic process. Whether is the enchanting melodies of my favorite songs or the captivating dialogues from a good movie, their sounds serve as a comforting companion in my creative journey. The surprise that comes with the simplicity and realism of my work is a constant theme in my artistic journey. There are individuals who genuinely appreciate my creations and share their feedback, which is always gratifying to hear. Honestly, I find it particularly fascinating to witness the reaction of the models when they see the results of the drawings after a posing session. On several occasions, I have heard models express their delight by saying, "You made me look beautiful." This reaction is often my favorite because it highlights the transformative power of art. Art is a complex subject that should not be overly explained. When a piece of art is dissected in details, it diminishes the viewer freedoms to interpret it in their own way, limiting them to a singular perspective. What I truly desire for people is the liberty to engage with my work and explore their interpretations, letting their imagination roam. I invite them to immerse themselves into my vision of the world, a world where beauty is perceived through my unique lens. Each line, each shade is a reflection of my experience and emotions, yet it serves as a gateway for the viewer to project their thoughts and feelings onto the drawings. In this way, my art becomes a dialogue between myself and the audience, where the insights are as valuable as my own. Ultimately, I hope to create a space where individuals can connect with the essence of my work and discover their own meanings with it. Thank you so much for this opportunity to introduce myself and discuss my artwork. I warmly invite everyone to follow me on social media and explore my link tree to stay updated on my upcoming events.